Alrighty, so if you're watching this video, then that must mean that Xerneas is in raid battles, and you're looking for a comprehensive guide on how you can defeat this boss. And fortunately, it is going to be a very easy raid boss. You could even do it with just one other trainer, but it's all going to depend on whether or not you bring the right counters. Now, Xerneas is one of the most powerful Fairy Type Pokemon in the game, and it's one of the only Fairy Type legendaries that are in the game, so if you want a very powerful Fairy Type for the Master League or for raid battles, then this is one raid you will definitely not want to ignore. Fortunately, it is an easier boss that can be defeated with two trainers, and I'm going to be covering how you can do that in this video. So let's roll the intro and get right into it. And how's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Count here with a brand new Pokemon GO raid guide video. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can two-man Xerneas raids. It's actually one of the easier bosses in Pokemon GO, but only if you have the right counters and the right conditions. It's going to be one of those bosses that you can easily defeat. Now, Xerneas is of course one of the most powerful Pokemon in the game for Fairy types, and that is of course because it is one of the only legendaries that has the Fairy typing. And of course, if you are looking for good Fairy types, then Xerneas is the Pokemon that you're going to want to look for. Now, fortunately, it does have quite a lot of good counters that are currently available in the game, so if you are looking to two-man this boss, then you should focus on powering up these specific counters. So let's get right into them. First and foremost, of course, Xerneas is a pure Fairy type, which means it's going to have two distinct weaknesses, and that is of course Steel types and Poison types. But of course, among these types of Pokemon, Steel types are definitely a lot more powerful in raid battles, so definitely stock up on some of the best Steel types that are currently available. Now, here are the absolute best Steel types that you can bring. First and foremost, Shadow Metagross is going to be the absolute best counter against Xerneas. It's going to dish out a lot of damage, and of course a lot of Xerneas' moves are not necessarily going to deal a lot of damage to Metagross. Out of all of the moves that Xerneas can have, I would say the only charge move you really need to look out for is of course Close Combat and even Thunder, considering it will deal a lot of neutral damage against Metagross, but overall Metagross is going to be your best option. Regardless if it's Shadow or not Shadow, bring your best Metagrosses with Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash. These are the best Steel type moves in the game on the best Steel type Pokemon, so you will definitely want to invest in a whole bunch of Metagrosses, especially your Shadow Metagrosses that you can get from Team Go Rocket battles. Now, at the time that I recorded this video, you could get Shadow Beldum from Arlo, and of course in the past you could get them from regular Team Go Rocket battles, so depending on when you're watching this video, that could be the way that you pick up Shadow Beldum, and definitely invest in those as much as you can. And of course you will want to get rid of Frustration, because Meteor Mash is the standout charge move that's going to be really strong against Xerneas and will allow you to actually two-man this boss. Now, unfortunately, there weren't any Mega Evolutions that were available at the time that I was making this recording, but if you are looking to use Mega Evolutions in the future when they are available, then you will want to focus on those with Steel typings. Of course, I'm talking about Pokemon like Aggron, that's going to be a really powerful Pokemon against Xerneas, and of course Steelix as well. Now, let's say you do not have a whole bunch of Meteor Mash Metagrosses. Well, there's plenty of other Steel types that you could use. One good example is of course Dialga with Steel type moves. You could also bring Genesect or Excadrill with Steel type moves as well. As long as you're bringing Steel types, you will do really well, considering how much DPS it is required in order to defeat this boss with just two trainers. But if you're lacking in Steel types overall, then you could also opt to use Poison types, and of course there's plenty of Mega Evolutions that will boost up Poison types as well. Here are some of the notable Poison types that you can bring. Of course, Gengar with Sludge Bomb is going to be really powerful, and you could also bring Roserade with Poison Jab and Sludge Bomb. These are all very powerful Pokemon with a lot of DPS, and that's absolutely going to be crucial if you're looking to two-man this boss. Now when it comes to Xerneas' perfect IVs, you will want to look for one with 2160, and if it's weather boosted by cloudy weather, which of course is a very common weather boost, it's going to be 2701. So these are the numbers you will want to look for when you're rating Xerneas. Of course, considering that it is one of the only legendaries with the fairy typing, you will definitely want to search for the hundo of this Pokemon. Like I said before, this is a Pokemon that you could do with just one other trainer, but of course that will require the right conditions, and it will require both you and your partner to have the right counters. Of course, all of the steel types that I mentioned, and even some of the poison types, but honestly, you are better off just going at it with about 4 trainers. That's going to be the secure way of defeating this boss. But if you are looking to 2-man it, then I highly suggest that both you and your partner are at least best friends, be at least level 40 with all of your Pokemon at level 40 as well. And if you're lucky enough to get the snowy weather boost, then that's going to be a big bonus as well. But you could also opt to go with cloudy weather. That's the weather boost that's going to boost up your poison types. You can use a whole bunch of your best poison types and you should still be able to defeat this boss. Now before I end this video, I want to talk about a lot of the implications behind this boss. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a really good fairy type fast move. It only comes with either tackle or Zen Headbutt, but it does have Moonblast as its charge move. So unfortunately, as a raid DPS attacker, maybe other fairy types will end up doing a lot better, especially if they have the move Charm. But if you're looking for a lot of type coverage in the Master League, Xerneas might actually prove to be useful. It's likely going to be a lot like Ho-Oh in terms of its type coverage. It does have a lot of different moves that it could learn, especially Moonblast being a very powerful fairy type move, but it can also learn Mega Horn, Giga Impact, Thunder, or Close Combat, giving it a lot of type coverage. There's plenty of Pokemon out there that could dish out a lot of damage against this Pokemon, but some of those Pokemon are weak against these particular moves as well. So in the Master League, this Pokemon definitely has a lot of good implications, but in terms of raid DPS, there's likely going to be some better options out there, but overall it's still going to be a very powerful attacker. So yeah, there you have it everyone. This is my quick guide on how you could defeat Xerneas with just one other trainer. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you have yourself a 100% IV Xerneas yet? Definitely let me know. And yeah, if I've missed anything important regarding how you could defeat this boss, definitely share that in the comments section as well. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and do consider joining me on Patreon. Every little bit helps. If you want to join my friends list in Pokemon Go, then do consider joining my Patreon. I'm opening up my friends lists to all of my patrons, so if you want to raid with me with remote raid invites, then do consider joining me on Patreon. But yeah, that's gonna be it everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. I am Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, and I'll catch you all later.